Hello, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, everyone of all ages, everyone of every degeneracy in the stock market, baby. Welcome back to the Coin Club, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. However, yes, I know, I will apologize in advance. I have not been on 9 to 4. Just been a little bit busy, kind of working out for something for you guys in the background here. Trying to get something done. I have a little project I'll talk about later towards the end of the video, so stick around for the whole thing. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the tribe, baby. We ask you to sub, hit the like button, share with a friend, family member, or anyone else you know who's into trading, stock market, and making money, baby, and financial wealth. So I want to welcome you to the December episode number, I don't even know how many, but maybe we'll start calling these episodes for the watch list streams. But anyway, it is Wednesday, December 1st, 7:30, practically at night, Eastern time. I wanted to talk about the market conditions, what we've been seeing, kind of what's happening right now. Obviously, this is the 1 year, 1 day of the SPY. And you can see there was a huge dump from about 460.155 into 450. And you can see here, we're actually crossing some of the moving averages here. So this is the 20, we have the orange being the 50 and the red being the 200. We are now getting this cross into from the 20 into the 50, down into this almost $200 or below the $50 moving, actually exponential moving average. So an interesting here, if you just follow the news or if you haven't heard already, but there is a new variant of COVID. I believe it's called the Omicron variant. Might be saying that wrong, but I think I got it right. And essentially what's going on is the first confirmed case actually, and you can actually see it here, hit the headlines today that it was confirmed that the first case of this actually hit California. And so what happened? There was a mix of a lot of things. Not only is this the case here, but there was also news regarding Jerome Powell being reelected for FOMC chair. He started talking about tapering and actually interest rate hike increase possibly sooner than what the original statement was. So a lot of uncertainty in the market with the new virus. What could be happening there? Are we going to lock down? Some countries are already locking down. Some countries are getting a little tight with the pandemic. Back to pre-pandemic regulation of masks, lockdowns, mandates, etc. And so how does that affect us in the stock market, right? If we look at the 3-year by week chart on this, right, you can see here, well, this is what happened during COVID last year, right? We kind of had this ramp into pretty much December or January 1st, kind of remained strong and bullish, a little bit choppy. We had a little bit of a scare here in late January, pumped a little bit into February, mid-February, and then we kind of collapsed on the fact that the whole COVID news came out. Now, am I saying that that's what's going to happen here? Not necessarily. We're starting December. December is usually a strong month. It's usually the Santa Claus rally. You can see a lot of stocks typically kind of get a nice run. Even just taking a look at this historically, you can see Apple here has always traded relatively in a strong, direction to the upside here. Kind of projected the same thing here. Apple's just been killing it lately, and pretty much ever since it bounced off the September 20 EMA, it just moon rocketed. I had a price target of 175, 180. I was in those calls, sold them for about 500%. They're currently like 1,000% now, but it is what it is. And so you can see that a lot of these stocks, Apple, Amazon, obviously rallied, had a little bit of a pullback in the week. But in the day, you can see it's been kind of trading towards these relative highs of the year. Now, Amazon actually crossing down below the 50-day EMA, and a lot of these tickers, big names, Amazon, Tesla, etc., they all had this similar drop, right? Tesla, here's NVDA, here's Moderna. We'll get into this. I actually had a alert that actually ended up I think it was the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I got a nice shopping deal because one of the Moderna contracts I had alerted, I flipped $80 into about $2,000 or so. So it was about a 2,000 to 3,000% return. You could check the Twitter stream. You'll see the screenshot there if you haven't already. But that play actually ended up going 30,000%. So if you had $1,000 invested, you pretty much walked out with $250,000 that day. So God bless you if you caught that. But anyway, so a lot of these stocks are down. A lot of them are taking big hits. You can see AMD pulling back as well here from its highs. Remember, the channel and the trading of this stock and most of these stocks is still up with a major pullback. And the ironic thing about this is even when you come back into COVID levels, let's just take Apple, for example, right? Apple follows the market the best. Look at the 3-year by week chart, right? So COVID levels right here, right? Kind of like trading to the upside, flattening out, and a little bit of a dump, right? Where we're at here, trading up, kind of flattening out, had the pop. So, so far nothing to worry about yet, but we'll see what happens. So one of the cool things I want to talk about here is, just overall, like the market conditions are kind of choppy. It's been a little rough waters here. You can see SPY intraday, right? If you go into like the 5-day, 15-minute, you can see it's been very, very, very volatile, very choppy. So it's kind of been like a day trader's market. Or a scalper's market, really. It's been really hard to swing trades here with high confidence because you really don't know if the market's going to turn on you one day or not, or intra-week. So one of the things I would like to mention is for those who are struggling with trading right now in these really high volatile times, just try to remain cash, right? Cash is technically king in the stock market, and cash, yes, it's actually a position, right? If you have cash on hand and you're not trading, it's something which I have to constantly remind myself is, hey, it's okay not to make a trade because then you don't lose, right? In the market, you only lose if you invest into a stock or if you make an options trade and you end up selling negative or red. Obviously, if you find something that's pretty decent, you could try to make a quick scalp. Like I did something with Facebook the other day. Had like a 7-minute plan Facebook. Was able to sell for 15%. I think it was here on that pop here. Quick day trade, nothing crazy. I had a really great trade the other day on some high volatility. I saw Coinbase had projected 330 level, had a level around 320, so I played it on this break here at 325. And made about 100% there. But obviously with the trades that I've had, there have been some losses. Moderna itself, I had like 2K in a trade here that actually ended up going way south. And ended up, I just ended up backholing that, hoping there was going to be some sort of news. And it was just something I was really tilted and really felt confident in the play, had a lot of conviction. So we'll see how this all plays out. Expires at the end of the week. So we'll see what this whole news kind of thing, what will end up happening. I'm kind of hoping it does sit on this 50-day EMA and then kind of bounce at least to recover some loss, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, with the market conditions going into December, January is going to be a brand new year. You have about 30 days or 31 days, 30 days now. Actually, today's the first? 30 days now to essentially either ramp your account up as much as possible into January, making small good decisions, obviously, or just creating a shopping list of the stocks and options that you could then potentially swing in January when market conditions kind of settle out, right? Remember, the market's going to be closed on Christmas, and I think Christmas Eve, maybe it closes a little bit early, like half day or something like that. So we don't really have too many trading days in the year left. I would say try not to push it and just, try to remain calm and look forward to next year, right? Maybe this month will be a reflection month of, what you have done in the stock market since we first started this channel, and or from even if you started beforehand back in January, what you have done successfully, what you haven't, and refine yourself as a trader. With that being said, that's kind of this plan or trading plan that I have, trading style I'm going to have, is sitting back, looking for good setups, looking for, A+ opportunities, and maybe scalping for small percentages, not really risking too much cash, and just trying to stack up my portfolio or my cash balance, if you will, as much as I can for January. I'm not saying the market's going to crash. I'm not, claiming that at all. I do think, obviously, it was a really big day, we haven't had a sell-off like this since, I would say, pretty much COVID or even back here, right? So we haven't had a huge, big sell-off day, and the fact that the 20-day and it's about to cross over the 50-day potentially, it kind of is a little worrisome. So I would say that maybe the market does end up pulling back a little bit. I would like to see it pull back at least into support around 426 or 420, 443 first, obviously before like 425s, where then I would feel a little bit more comfortable longing the market. with that being said, just make sure that you're staying alert, keeping on top of everything, always checking your positions daily. If you're in a swing trade, obviously monitor it like it's a day trade. I've learned that for myself, there was a swing trade that I even got into and I didn't even monitor it, and now it's down. So obviously I have time. I got lucky with that, but that's something to keep in mind. So with that being said, I did have a couple stocks that I wanted to look at here. So one put position I like is Dollar Tree, right? Dollar Tree has ran up. Here's the gets the 1 year, 1 day chart of this. It's way above all the 20, 50, and 200-day EMAs. I think we could probably see this back test into 128 and then potentially actually come back into this gap fill zone. So it gapped up pretty much before earnings and then had a continuation here with the earnings. And then obviously there's some gaps to the downside. So I think this is definitely something that we could see. Looks like there's going to be a hard support around 120.5, so that's like the furthest target out. But targets on this, I'd say like 130, 125 to 127 PT2, and PT3 would be like 120 and below. If that happens to happen, you'll be printing pretty hard. And I would say look to get like 30 to maybe 60 days out expiration here. I'm looking at the December. I mean, these are shorter contracts if you could pay the money for it. But the December 130 30 puts, look pretty decent. And then obviously the Januaries here, maybe like the 120s, or if you can get as close to the money as you can, even better. But I'd say the furthest, like these 115s, because then the volume and the open interest kind of, dies out there. So you don't want to get stuck where there's no liquidity or room to get out of. So that's something else I'm looking for. Tesla, kind of messed this one up today. So I actually grabbed a 1050 put when we were trading around 1150 per share. Yeah, so we were trading around here, and I grabbed this put on this candle actually for $2.50. It was a weekly, so it expired this week. I sold it for break even here in this candle when it kind of retested. In the shorter time frames, it looked really bullish. It kind of looked like it might just scoop. And I'm kind of mad that I did that because this actually ended up turning into like an over 500% trade in the day. So I could pull it up here. I had this contract right here. So here's the 1050. And this happens. Life of a trader, I guess. Sometimes you make good decisions, sometimes you don't. So it happens. But you could actually see here, and if I show my orders or show my trades, should see it there. So here it is. Let's just make this a little bit better, cleaner, and then I'll walk you through this trade idea that I had here. So sorry about this. So yeah, so I got one contract at 245. I ended up selling it for 245, so I made literally nothing. Kind of a waste of a trade. And obviously then it ended up running to 15 at the high, 1545. Honestly, if the market gaps down somehow by tomorrow morning, this could be worth probably 1,000%. But even just looking at the 245 level, if I can get my cursor there, 241 is good enough. So yeah, that's like 500% plus. So 5x return right there. And so yeah, it was a pretty good day trade if I had held it. It would have definitely been a nice risk to reward ratio there. The reason I saw that was just the fact that when I looked at Tesla, I saw that it popped on the pre-market highs that had opened, kind of consolidated back, tested on the 1149 support here. It pumped and then it retested back with the market. And when I saw that, I knew that just from trading Tesla a lot, typically if Tesla pops and fades, it usually does retest the support level from pre-market low, and it cracks through. There was also that gap fill down in the pre-market, which led me to believe that if this flushed through 1149.9, it could definitely come back into yesterday's support or low, which was 1120, and the 1050 was just the cheapest contract that I felt was like close enough. And obviously I had all my levels here, so I said, just going even back further on the 30-day 4-hour, look at where your 200-day moving average is. It's around 1050, and so it's something that I knew here that if we kind of got through this zone here, it could potentially flush. It happened once already to 1058 here. It happened again. I believe we were trading at 1120, and then we flushed to 1055. So that looks like it's the support line period. And so, yeah, so I thought I could just take that trade, and it would have paid off nicely, but I didn't end up holding it. Another ticker that is going crazy that I think could be pretty decent for a short would be AMD. AMD's had a very, very nice pump. And so one of the things is it's had a crazy run up. It's coming back, obviously, with today's move into the 20-day EMA. I think, honestly, a lot of these stocks are really, really overbought. They've been pumped to the moon, and I think, obviously, we can get a nice cool off. I think a solid support on AMD would be around the 140. Let it kind of come back into that and then consolidate around there. If it ups even into the 50-day moving average around 130s, even better. And then obviously keep that on watch. With that, that also means that NVIDIA can do the same. Watch NVIDIA. I like this actually for an opportunity to the downside, right? We do have a little bit of a gap here. It's going to be right there. So we do have a gap filled back into the 20-day EMA. And I actually like this a lot better now that I'm actually charting it live for you guys. Just looking at this real quick. So let's get a nice color there. We could all see this. Boom. So with that being said, it's kind of hard. Let's just get something a little bit better. This looks good. Okay, so with that being said, this is the daily chart, right? We're starting a move to the downside. RSI is kind of coming back in. This could actually be a pretty decent day trade. They do have a dividend date. They had it today. So usually dividend dates, after that, the stock price usually falls down a little bit. So I could see this filling this gap back into maybe, I would say the first level would be probably this support here around 309. I've traded this stock a lot, and I know it kind of sits around there. So that's something to look out for, is that 309 level. Below that, we can probably see 305 into 300. Just to give you a quick example here, right? This is the consolidation zone that it's been in, right? And so if it does gap down or fill this gap to the downside below 305, your targets are probably going to be 290. I wouldn't say that's like a far target, but like at least 300 would be pretty solid. So I would say your first target would be like 309, 305, probably like a 300 at the bottom here. So yeah, we could see here's a nice little pump from 374, so, or 300.74. So those are your levels on NVIDIA, which I think could probably hit pretty nicely this week. So we'll see how the market kind of plays out. Obviously, there is an ascending kind of pattern here, or trend line support. So the fact that it broke through this, it's back testing. I think this looks kind of bearish, and we could probably continue down further. With that being said, let's move into Facebook. Facebook has sold off completely off the face of the earth for a little bit here. I actually didn't even see this Facebook at 310, so this 310 looks pretty bearish to me. I don't think Facebook will actually go much lower, but the fact that these EMAs are curling below or into the 200-day EMA is kind of deadly, honestly. So I'll probably stay away from Facebook for now, but I'll definitely be looking for calls when we catch support, hopefully above this 307.91. If we crack through this, I'm definitely looking to get puts into probably 300 for sure. Yeah, for sure 300. There's support there. You could see it right back here. So there's a little bit of a base support around that 296 or into 300. And just taking a look at these premiums probably for maybe the December 17th contracts. Yeah, so 285s, 290s, and 300s, they're pretty pricey, but it could be a nice risk to reward. Obviously, if you have a small account, you might want to get the Januaries and go a little bit further out of the money, and then just scalp those, right? That could be a pretty decent opportunity. Watch Facebook, though, because Facebook does sell off and then pop usually, so especially at these $300 levels, I wouldn't be surprised institutions hop on that one. You can kind of see it getting a little bit of a pop in the after hours, if you will. Let's take a look at some bigger ones. So we have Shopify. Shopify hit 1762 and then kind of rejected and kind of faded out there. Shopify looks kind of ugly, actually. So below, I would say, let's see, below 1435, if we can test that, we'll probably crack through. And then we'll catch this support here, probably back into the 1358s, or even before that, it looks like 1400 almost. So that's something interesting to watch. But anyway, you can see a lot of these bigger stocks, these bigger names are coming down, and they had a really bad, rough day today. And overall, the market, QQQ, Same thing, right? These are all on the daily charts are looking pretty rough. Now the 3-year by week chart or even the weekly charts are kind of indicating like your 20-day moving average right now. If this were to just continue going out, you're looking at a probable move at the mid December into probably like 380s for the Qs. SPY looks like it's already at the 20-day moving average. So if it butters through that, you probably could see like a 445 coming soon. And I haven't looked at the IWM in a while. I do. Oh, this looks like rough. So there was a pretty solid consolidation area there, popped out, faded back into it. This just looks like it could honestly come back into this like 200, 205 level, maybe even. Yeah, so like 205, and then if it cracks into below that, then that's like a game over. So I would look at like a 210, 205, and if it goes below that, then rip. You could already see the MACD histogram kind of, coming to the downside there on most of these. So there's that SPY. You can see it there again, bang bang, and then you can see it on the Qs, bang bang. So overall, the breadth to me in the market. And actually, I want to get into one last play before I do that. TLT. So TLT on the which is the 20-year Treasury bond, it actually trades inversely to the SPY. And a cool thing is actually during COVID, you could see we're on the 3-year by week. So during COVID, when the COVID crash happened, TLT flew, right? Because essentially the 10-year bond, the interest rate just like collapsed, and then the 20-year bonds just like flooded. So a lot of institutions put their money in bonds because then they could actually beat a little bit of inflation and get an interest on their money, or heavy amounts of money back. So I actually took a crazy trade. I am planning to hold this out for quite some time. So I actually got the January 21st, 2022 expiration 200 calls for the TLT. And I'm planning to try to flip those. They actually ran up today about 64%. So I had 30 contracts. I sold 15 or sold half around like 50 to 60%. And I'm going to hold the other 15. I actually might buy more on the dip if I can, if this pulls back into this 151. But it did break a new high on the day today, as you can see, and it's actually moving in after hours. So if this kind of continues up, I would like to see TLT kind of retest this 50% Fibonacci level and then break through. Now, the reason I did this, it's a little bit more of like a skeptical play, skeptical play or speculation play, I should say, is if for some reason the market happens to dump and literally, crash, I think personally that TLT will have this same exact move and it'll fly. And if it were to do this at the same level as we saw prior, where it kind of takes off, the volatility of this move right here could really send the premium on the contracts that I have quite crazily, right? So like if we were to have some sort of fly off, maybe at this resistance, you could see here we'll be trading around 170, 180, 185. And then once again, just looking at this by the monthly chart, something I noticed here was the MACD looks to like it's rolling up, right? So it's trying to, roll back up and kind of get into some bullish sentiment. RSI is above 50, so it's not too bad, not in a bad area. And the last 3 months of this have been buying. So it looks like to me that you might be able to see this pattern here, but this kind of looks like a monthly flag pattern, and it kind of got delineated here, but it looks like it's pushing higher, right? The cool thing is there isn't really a lot of resistance back here, so I think that we could probably see a pop above here, this 152.50 into maybe even 160s, and just the volatility of this could be kind of crazy. Now, just by running the Fibonacci level here, the reason I got the 200 calls is because if you could see this, it actually had a crazy move prior, right? So this was the initial move, right, into COVID, and it actually ran right through the 161.8 Fibonacci level into 261 plus, right? So it moved around $7 above the 261.8%. If that were to happen now with the same amount of volatility, I think we could see something even more explosive, which would put us above 200 and actually put us maybe into the 250s. It's a crazy long shot. I don't recommend this. Is not financial advice. This is not a recommendation. It's just a kind of lottery ticket that I wanted to try to play, and I thought the payoff would be kind of good. Reason being, if I just look at it here, I had like 30 contracts of this. Like I said, I have 15 now. So if we do somehow get to the 180 mark, this play could potentially net. Oh, something's off there. Oh, I guess not. Well, I guess, because I reduced my position. Okay, so let's see what I have here. These contracts are worth currently, so I got them for 7 cents. They're currently sitting at, what are they sitting at? They're sitting at around 10.5, so 11 cents, right? Okay, cool. So I'm up a little bit already. I think that the IV could kind of help us here. So if they go up, those should be around 350. It should have been more just based off the fact that, let's see something real quick. Let's see if I do a buy order for 30. Oop, I could just type it in. So I would be spending 330. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Let's just analyze the trade here real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So technically, if I buy these back with profits, it wouldn't really matter. I would pretty much just break even here. You could kind of see the trades there. So I got, what is it? Let's see. So let's say we get 30 of those. All right. So with that being said, I would be spending, well, I have 7, so I would be spending on 15 about another $150. I think I put like 250 in total, or less, maybe like 230. But anyway, with 30 contracts, if this were to get to 180s, we're looking at about a, pretty much 2 to 3 to 1 ratio there. The cool thing is if it does go crazy and it gets to 200 or above, now the contracts spike to about 15,000. So there's a really big move right there. Now, I don't want to go to the speculation trade, but if it were to hit breakout, this could be a crazy play. It could be into about 150K. And I actually believe I ran this on the options profit calculator, and I want to pull it up for you guys. So here it is. If you haven't used this, it's optionsprofitcalculator.com. You could obviously come here, check your plays, and see what things are worth, or what they could be worth, right? So let's say we got the 200s. I'm going to say that I get 30 again, and I have actually more money clearing tomorrow. So let's just say I get like 100 of these, because that's something I'd probably do. And let's just make the range like 250. We don't come below 150. Calculate. So we'd be spending about $1,100 here, and you could obviously see the return, right? So this is percent return. Current IV, we should kind of update that to what it actually was here. So analyze. I guess it doesn't tell you here. Okay, so hold on, let's see. IB in the contracts is going to be 18%. No, plus or minus $8. So not too volatile yet. Not too volatile yet. So let's say 8. Update. Cool. So now you can see that here's the percent risk, right? So even by expiration, if somehow TLT pops to above $200 and it moves 30%, which is a crazy run, I know it sounds crazy, but like I said, it's a speculation play, and I'm looking to play this same move here. This same move here was about 20%, right? So if it goes above that, I'd be even happier, but a 20% move here anytime before December, or I guess before January, mid-January, wouldn't that be a pretty decent return, about at least 100, maybe even 30% return, which is still $400, which is not bad. If it happens to go crazy and break out to like the 225s, it's a very solid play there. Then you're looking at off of like $1,100, $250,000. So sometimes a lot of people know me for crazy plays, but hey, it's something that I'm looking at and I want to share with you guys. So with that being said, I do want to mention one more thing, right? For now, I think I'm going to do the watch list videos on YouTube, just because it's been really hard for me to stream. Been doing a lot, working on a lot of side projects and stuff like that, and got a lot of stuff going on right now. And obviously, I want to give you guys content and give you stuff that is going to be valuable. So I think something like this might be a little bit more valuable. And I do want to let you know one thing. I happen to do something for you guys. So what did I do? I actually made a Discord. I made a Discord for you guys. I literally did it. So, one of the cool things I want to talk about here is, let's see how I can do this. I want to share this real quick. Okay, so let me see if I can move this over for you guys. So yeah, so I did something for you guys, and I think it's gonna be helpful. I made a Discord. I'm gonna put it in the description link of the YouTube channel. It is called coinclubtrading.com, right? So here is the Discord itself. You could kind of see it here already, and I'm gonna share this with you. Let's disable this because I don't really care for that. All right, so here it is. This is the Discord. You can already see here, Coin Club logo, etc. There's some people in it already and some premium members, so I want you guys to take a look if you can. If you want to join the Discord, all the trades will be linked here. Obviously, this is for premium members. There's a regular members chat where we can kind of interact throughout the day, and I think it'll be a little bit better. Obviously, the premium version is more like situated one-on-one. You get option alerts and etc. And all that kind of stuff. So if you are interested, it's real time. You know, you can get the alerts and stuff like that. Feel free to take a look. Join the Discord. It is a monthly subscription feature, but I think it's going to be worth it. And I promise you, by the end of the year, or in maybe 1 or 2 or 3 trades, I'll probably make the money back for you, and you'll see the value, right? It's obviously for educational purposes and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of cool things going on in there. I'm still building it out, but I wanted to mention it to you guys ahead of time, right? So there's going to be one-on-one mentorship, webinars, weekly watch lists, swing trade watch lists. We're going to have chart requests, members chat, free room chat for non-premium members, profit channels to see what everyone's making, different charts from the members themselves if they want to share them. And then there's going to be a lot of day trading information, swing trading, options, stock alerts, etc., and even crypto. So if you like that, if you want to see that, and if you want to be a part of this beautiful community, we already have about 12 great members in it. I want to grow it for you guys. They're obviously great traders. I've seen them do amazing stuff. Hit the link in the description, click on it, hit the sub, go to the upgrade feature chat, and then join as a premium member. And we'd love to see you there. We'd love to see you trade. We'd love to see you grow, and we'd love to see you learn financially. With that being said, love you guys. I hope you guys got a lot of good insight tonight. If you haven't already, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Share the channel with a friend, family member, or anyone that you know who's trying to learn about trading, etc. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at KennyTrades52. This is the feature here, KennyTrades52. And as well, we do have that Coin Club merch. So if you're looking for anything, hey, it's wintertime, it's Christmas, feel free to get someone a hoodie, a tank top, mug, mask if you need it, etc. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Peace out. And we'll catch you in another one.